All right, today we're going to look at Windows operating system and the Chrome operating system, and we're going to talk about some of the basic terms and functionality. Almost everything we're going to cover today is review. There's one or two terms that I don't think you've heard me say before, and then we are going to take a quiz to show what we know. We're going to start with the Windows operating system. So here you see my Windows desktop. It's called a desktop because just like you work at a desk in your classroom, this is your desktop or the place where you work on the Windows operating system. So the Windows operating system has lots of icons that you can pin to your desktop, and those can be shortcuts that make it a lot easier to navigate to your things. At the bottom, this big black bar is my taskbar. So the taskbar can have things pinned in it as shortcuts as well. It will show all the tasks or jobs that you're working on, and it signifies that by having a line under it. So I don't have Firefox open, but I do have Google Chrome open. I have a folder open, and I have a PowerPoint open. That's why I have the line under them in my taskbar. Also in the taskbar, you can see the Start menu. In the Windows operating system, the Start menu looks like a window. And if I click on it, it will start all of my different apps. So I have all of my programs in here. Let's open up a program right now. Okay, so I have opened up Word, and a lot of the Microsoft programs and a lot of the programs in Windows all work the same. They have different tabs at the top to help you navigate. So I have my File tab, and hit back to get out of that. My Home tab, my Insert tab, my Design tab. They look like the little tabs of a folder when you click on them. So each one has a tab. When you click on those tabs, it opens up a whole bunch of different tools for you. And this is called a ribbon. So that's the one term for the Windows operating system that you have not heard me use very often. I just typically say click on the Home tab, click on the Insert tab, but I don't mention ribbon. So please tattoo that into your brain right now. This is the ribbon. I'm going to open up Windows Explorer or my File Explorer. So you can see as well, it has tabs and it has ribbons again. So I'm in the Home tab, here's my Home ribbon. Share tab gets me my Share ribbon. View tab gets me my View ribbon. Okay, now we are in the Chromebook operating system, and this is what the desktop in Chrome OS looks like. It does not have the icons like Windows operating system does, but this is still my desktop. At the bottom, this black bar down here is known as the shelf. So the shelf, you can pin different icons to it to make it easier to access, such as I have the Chrome website pinned. Google Chrome is pinned to my shelf. Over on this side, this is known as the status tray. And the status tray will tell you your time, your battery life, your Wi-Fi connections, other announcements. And you can get into different things here, such as your settings, and you can adjust things in there as needed. On the left side of the shelf, we have this open circle. This is known as your apps launcher. So you can see when I hover over it, it says launcher. If I click the apps launcher and I hit this up arrow, I can see all of the different apps that I have loaded onto this device. I'm going to go ahead and click on my Google Drive for a moment, because I want to make sure that we also understand how to get to the apps in here. So I like to call this the waffle. One of my students called this Google Apps thing the 9 dots. He called it the waffle, and that name has just stuck with me. And it does. It kind of looks like a waffle. So the real name for it, though, is your Google app. So we have the app launcher at the bottom, and we also have our Google Apps, which is the 9 dots here. Let's look at another quick Google tutorial to review what we just learned about the operating system.
I'll show you the basics of navigating your new Chromebook. This is your desktop. Your Chromebook's desktop does not include icons. On the bottom of the desktop, you'll see what's called the shelf. This is where you can access apps that are pinned or currently running. On the bottom right, next to your profile picture, is the status tray, which contains quick access to your settings. On the bottom left, you'll see a circle icon. This is the Apps Launcher. To view all of your apps, click the App Launcher and then the All Apps icon. To create a folder of your apps, just drag one app onto another, like so. And for easy access, you can pin them to the shelf by two-finger clicking and selecting Pin to Shelf. To view your Chromebook status and settings, open the status area by clicking your profile picture on the bottom right. From the status area, you'll find your networks, battery life, settings, and more. There's also a question mark icon, which is the Get Help app. Here, you can search for help articles within Chromebook.
Okay, let's talk about some of the features that Windows and Chrome operating system have in common. One of them is the scroll bar. We're used to seeing the scroll bar that lets us go up and down, but there's also scroll bars that let us go left and right. So scroll bars are common to both Windows and Chrome OS.
You just looked at the Windows operating system scroll bar. Here we have it in the Chrome operating system. So I can click and drag. So I can click and drag to make that go up and down.
Something else that's common to both of them is the side-by-side windows. In the Windows operating system, we call it Smart Windows or Snap. So I've often told you to grab it at the top and snap it to the side, or drag it to the side, sometimes they say. And then I can click on one of my others, and now they are side by side. There's actually other ways to do that too. Let me drag this to the top to make it full screen. If I hit the Windows key on my keyboard and then hit the left arrow, it will snap it to the left for me that way too. So that's something new with Windows 10 that's pretty cool.
Just like you can split windows and do a split screen in your Windows operating system, you can also do that in Chrome OS. So let's say that I have two tabs I need to work on. Maybe I've got research from the internet on one side and I've got my project on the other side. So I'm going to pull this tab out by doing a click and drag, and that will make it come into its own window. And now I'm going to click and drag it again to get it to hit the side of my screen. See how it makes that shadow? I let it go. And then I'm going to do the same to this one. So I click, drag until my cursor hits the side of the screen and makes the shadow, and then let it go. So that allows us to have side-by-side windows in the Chrome operating system. We've talked about some of the Chromebook gestures. We know that when we slide two fingers up and down, it lets us go up and down. We know that if we click with two fingers, it is serving as a right click. And we've learned that if we swipe down with three fingers, we can see all of the windows we have open. So here you can see my two windows that are open.